Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gamers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. With me, I have Lawrence.
Hey, everybody.
I've got Rident.
Hey, y'all.
And back like she never left, we have Michelle.
Hey.
How's it going, everyone?
Not bad.
I'm going pretty good here.
We have the whole team together. This is a momentous occasion.
Woo!
Yeah, Michelle, you missed the last time. We were talking Xillia.
Yeah, we actually talked a little bit of Exilia.
See, the past 2 weeks, we've had two people that are going to be in Xillia on the show.
And then Michelle no-shows. That wasn't very benevolent
Yeah.
of you.
Although you have got a good excuse. So
Yeah, we're just giving you a hard time. We've got news, kind of. Well, yeah, we have news. Gamescom is going on this week. As we're recording this, Microsoft just wrapped up their Gamescom presser, and the one big takeaway from it seems to be less about what the Xbox One can do and less about what Microsoft is offering with the Xbox One, and more about the Kinect, which they can't seem to get away from for some reason. The more press that comes out about it and the more negative reaction Microsoft gets to people and the Kinect, saying simply, look, I don't want the Kinect. Stop forcing me to use the Kinect. They're now saying you cannot buy an Xbox One, without the Kinect.
However, they have announced now that you don't need the Kinect to run the Xbox One anymore. It's not a requirement, but yeah, they won't sell it without.
Right. Phil Harrison, this is what he said. The Xbox One is Kinect. They are not separate systems. An Xbox One has chips, it has memory, it has Blu-ray, it has Kinect, it has a controller. These are part of the platform ecosystem. If everyone is telling you we don't want the Kinect, and you're continually pushing the Kinect onto the people, like I don't understand the logic here.
The problem with it is it's kind of keeping the price up.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess from their point of view, where they've set a price, they probably don't want to go against that now. And they're probably just keeping it as, now keeping that placeholder of it is selling with the Kinect, no choice.
I think Microsoft realized we went back on everything else, but we will not give you that.
This is the line. No further.
You will not cross the Kinect.
I mean, it was kind of cool what they announced this week with although I'm not into the games myself, but when they announced that they're going to be putting a copy of the FIFA football or soccer to you guys, right. With every European version of the console. I don't know what what's going to happen in America. I don't know if you're getting a free game, maybe NFL or something, as that's your equivalent. But I doubt that.
I can tell you right now, there is no way in hell Microsoft will give out free copies of Madden. There's no way in hell.
Yeah, I doubt that. I mean, that's one of the biggest money makers. Well, it's probably not Microsoft. EA would.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. EA would never allow me to do that. Which I find funny. Isn't FIFA in terms of sales? Isn't it up there with Madden over here?
Yes, it's the most popular. I mean, what you've got over here, the biggest game sellers every year are Call of Duty and FIFA.
Yeah, for us it's
every year. They will sit in the top 10. In the top 3, I'd say, for the majority of the year. Normally in first or second. So that's kind of shows where they stand. Every year they have a majority.
Mm-hmm. And I've also heard that FIFA games tend to sell in the I want to say the mid-million range, like 3 to 5 million, easy.
Wouldn't surprise me. I haven't had a look at their figures, but it wouldn't surprise me. People buy many copies of the game in a year as well, but because they play so much. Some people are so, they'll buy it. They have the console, and that's all they will play.
Yeah.
So they will get through a couple of copies themselves.
Excuse me, I just did a checkup and I think I undercut FIFA. FIFA 13 apparently sold 14.5 million.
But Well, there we go.
So I undercut them. I am sorry.
The unfortunate thing is, I mean, the only competitor really to FIFA is PES, which is the Pro Evolution Soccer from Konami, and that doesn't really get. I mean, a lot of people say it is the better game, but because they don't hold the license for like characters and teams and everything else, they kind of lose out on that part. And I think fans are just so stuck on one franchise that they don't want to move away, or that it's a bit like the Call of Duty and Battlefield arguments that go on. When both are very good games, especially for multiplayer, but no one wants to give the other a chance.
It's actually what you're saying. It sounds like over here back in, well, I want to say 2003, 2004, we had Madden, we had NFL 2K. NFL 2K was clearly the superior product, and to sort of cut off any competition, EA bought the exclusive rights to the NFL. Only they can make NFL games, and that kind of just killed the competition. It sounds like that's what...
That is pretty... because the biggest football association over here is FIFA.
Yeah.
So that is what they've got the license to FIFA. So...
What's that?
People want that license.
I guarantee you, if the United States Marine Corps had licensing, EA would buy that as well. No more Call of Duty for you. All Battlefield.
It's crazy, but but it serves. I mean, it serves the industry well. I mean, they sell the copies. It pumps money into the games industry. So, I mean, you can't fault it for that.
I can't fault it. Like I said, I get the logic behind it, but
yeah.
It seems like a really dick move. It's like, you have the inferior product. How can I protect my brand? Oh, let me just buy the exclusive rights to it so no one else can compete with me.
Yeah, I mean, you have the monopoly. That's it, isn't it?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know whether in America you're going to get an equivalent to that deal, whether there'll be something that they'll throw in as a free product for everyone that pre-orders an Xbox console. But wait and see. But over here we've got a good deal, which, while it sounds like a good deal, the equivalent, if you went and took the other option of buying a PlayStation 3, if that's your preferred choice of console, or you were just swaying between the two just because you want that game, you can actually buy the PlayStation 3 and a copy of FIFA for less than you'll get the copy of FIFA free with the Xbox One.
I guess.
So, I think you save about £70 buying a PlayStation 3 and the.
Because they're saying you're going back a generation, so essentially you're paying for the generation upgrade.
Well, not really. I mean, because if you buy it for the PlayStation 4 version of FIFA, plus the console, which is the console over here is £350, and I think FIFA is meant to sell for around £40 or £50. I think 40. And then the cost of the Xbox One console, which obviously has the connectors we were discussing earlier, keeping the price up. Even throwing in the free game, you're going to be spending more money. Yeah. But I mean, but it depends on your kind of preference and choice of console. If you can deal with having the Kinect, even though now it doesn't require it to be on. But if you can deal with buying it and you have no problem with that, then by all means go for an Xbox One. I mean, I've got my choice set for a PlayStation 4, but that's because of my preference to Japanese games and stuff, and I know that the PlayStation 4 will probably receive more support with regards to those games.
Right. I mean, I think we talked about this on the show before when both next-gen consoles were actually announced. In terms of what they can do, for your average user, you're not going to notice much difference. So it's really just which system has the games I like, or which system has the peripherals that I like, as it were. If you're inclined to the Kinect, you're probably going to want to get the Xbox One because Sony doesn't have anything that comes close to the Kinect.
No, I mean, I'd say if you're really into your your first-person shooters and stuff like that. I think the Xbox is usually a very good platform for that, and they usually have the better servers. And I think they have got a better server setup on the Microsoft end than the Sony end right now. So, if you're into that kind of thing, or if you're into the big multiplayer games, then you're probably better off going for the Xbox One console. But if you, like myself, just you do a lot more playing solo, or you play a lot, Japanese titles and things, then I swing the preference to the PlayStation 4.
There's also a program that Sony announced at Gamescom regarding the PS4, if I'm not mistaken, where if you buy a game on the PS3 that is cross-generational, they've announced that certain companies have signed on for this, where you can upgrade to the PS4 version for only $10.
Now, I believe that's also the case with those same publishers for the Xbox One as well.
Oh, they are doing it for the Xbox One as well?
I believe it's the same. I believe it's the same kind of principle.
Okay, I haven't heard it from.
I'm pretty sure I heard that come out of the Microsoft conference that morning, before the Sony conference one.
Oh, I heard the Sony one first.
And it was to do with the Call of Duty Ghosts, if I recall.
Okay.
But that depends on I guess it depends on the actual publishers as to whether or not they will put the deal on. But there will be the option to do that with certain games.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and then
I'm pretty sure Microsoft announced it first, but if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
They seem to be going back and forth. Microsoft also announced they have an indie games initiative.
Yeah,
I guess after they saw how successful or how positive the feedback was to Sony when they announced that, hey, you get the PS4, we're going to do everything we can to make this a dev-friendly environment for you to push out your own titles.
It's the program called I think it's ID at Xbox One or something. Right. Now I follow a lot of indie developers, and they were discussing with it, and there's still a little bit of distrust with the system, and that's because Microsoft has the full rights to set the prices. And they're a little bit uncomfortable with that. Whereas, although that is the case on the platforms of Steam and PlayStation as well, I don't think they exercise those rights. So the indie developers usually have a little bit more control right now. Not to say that those controls can't be taken away and put forth by the platform themselves, but as far as I'm aware, the thing with the idea at Xbox, they're a little bit uncomfortable and of actually adopting it. They're all for the fact that there is that support for indie development,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're a little bit uncomfortable right now of what it's actually going to entail, especially when it comes to the price setting.
Basically, it boils down to, do you trust Microsoft to do the right thing when it comes to your game, or do you expect them to try to squeeze every penny they can out of the customer, which in turn kind of turns them off from indie games in the first place? Because what people like about indie games is you sort of get these full-fledged titles for not the AAA price.
Yeah.
Microsoft were doing very well with that. Before they changed the dashboard, they had a section all set up with just indie titles, and you can buy some of their games there for as little as 80 Microsoft points and things, which is next to nothing in price, and you can get some get to try out some pretty cool games, and you can try before you buy and things like that. But they hid that, and then they've kind of scrapped it, and
because it was costing them money.
It was a bit of a shame, really. They had all that support, and then just kind of threw that away.
Yeah. Unless,
of course, you're Minecraft.
And that's even now on the next gen PlayStation 4.
I was about to say, speaking of Minecraft, how did Sony pull that one off? Gamescom sort of made the announcement that Minecraft will be coming to the PS4. Did they say Vita as well, or just PS4?
A Vita as well,
Yeah.
I believe. Which I think Minecraft on the... I mean, okay, you've already got it on mobile. You can get it on mobile platforms. But to have it on the Vita would be just amazing. Oh, and Borderlands on the Vita too.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 will
Yeah,
be on the Vita
Borderlands.
as well as Minecraft. If Minecraft comes to the Vita, I might finally have to jump into it. I might have to finally get back into it.
And then there's also the announcement that the PlayStation Vita is undergoing a full-on price cut now at $199 for every single version of the PlayStation
Yes.
Vita, including the Walking Dead bundle that was released not too long ago. So
And
$199
memory cards.
Mhm.
Memory cards are also dropping in price.
Yes, finally.
Oh, okay, cool. That part I didn't hear. The memory
Yes.
cards.
Yeah.
I heard about the Vita price drop.
Now that was one of the things that put a lot of people off the Vita, is because the memory cards, like with the PSP, because they required specific memory
Right.
cards to go inside them, they put people off because they were so expensive. So with the price
Right.
cut on the Wi-Fi version of the console, plus the price cut with the memory cards, it should make it a little bit more accessible.
Yeah. Rident, to go back to what you were saying about the upgrade program.
Mhm.
Sony is offering it directly for PS3 to PS4, whereas for Xbox 360 to Xbox One, it is being offered through the retailers instead of
Right.
directly from Sony. So it'll be a retailer thing where you'll be able to, I think, trade in like a 360 version for only $10 for the Xbox One version.
Yeah,
Oops.
because Holly from PlayStation, she, a friend of mine, she does the PlayStation Access stuff, and she put out that there was this option to actually do you can do it with your retail disc version, but there wasn't really a detailed explanation of how that was done. But yeah, I guess that would be how that goes about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on the 360 owners, they'll be able to take advantage of the upgrade path through the retailers like Amazon and GameStop, rather than through Sony directly through like a digital download service of some kind. And so far, from what I'm seeing for the 360, that's only for Call of Duty Ghosts, whereas for Sony, they're offering it directly for, I believe, COD Ghosts and Diablo 3. And
I think Watch Dogs.
And Watch Dogs, yeah. And I want to say AC4 because they said Ubisoft themselves, like as a company, signed up for it.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, but AC4 is coming out on both platforms, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's a cross-generational title.
Yeah. I think do you know one of the best things from the PlayStation conference for me was the amount of support that the Vita was getting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of these consoles which I don't own, but the more that they were showing that the support that they're giving it, the more I'm likely to be buying one. Things like, you know how the Wii U adopted the thing where you can, someone can change the channel and you can, they can carry on playing it or play it in another room,
Right.
as long as they're in the Wi-Fi range. The Vita's doing exactly that.
Well, I told you, I'm waiting for, and ironically, Microsoft of all companies may be the one to do this first. The first company that figures out, or the first publisher that figures out how to take these peripheral devices and use them in sort of a game master function for people playing on the main console. Like, I said it before, the Wii U is built for that. It looks like the Vita, you could go that direction, but
Yeah.
Microsoft announced Fable Legends with their hero and villain characters. The villain character may be able to do something like that through the Kinect. So we'll see how that works out.
That's cool.
It's all very exciting. Especially like I said, the support that the Vita is getting. It's just they're really trying to tie the Vita to the PS4, but not in a way that you're missing out on core functionality if you decide not to get a Vita.
I mean, they did kind of. Damn, the thing just. What I was just about to say just slipped my mind. I kind of had a sentence stuck in my head, and then I just mixed it with another, and I confused myself.
These things happen, but no, it's like I said, if you decide to get the PS4 but you don't want a Vita, you're not missing anything intrinsic to the system. You can still enjoy your PS4 as it is. For a while, the knock against the Xbox One is I don't want to use the Kinect, but you're forcing me to use the Kinect through all these things.
Yeah.
But now that they've backtracked on that, but you still have to buy the Kinect. I think Lawrence said it before I actually started the show. I give them until Christmas to be like, all right, cool. We're not selling it with the Kinect anymore, guys. Price cut, $100. Here you go. The Christmas edition.
Yeah, they'll release the light edition or something. Yeah. That's what I was going to say about the because people were expecting that Sony would announce a bundle with the PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation Vita, but that never happened. Although they did announce the new PlayStation Vita Essentials bundles, which are going to contain the Vita plus 10 games or whatever, which is pretty cool.
Combine that with the Instant Game collection on PlayStation Plus, and you're pretty set for a while.
I was discussing this with someone from Sony the other day. I mean, oh no, it wasn't Sony. They were talking about the PlayStation Plus, and I think it was from IGN or GameSpot, and they were saying, if you're on PlayStation Plus, always download always purchase the free Instant Game Collection stuff for your Vita, even if you don't have a console, because as soon as you bought it, it's in your list. If you ever get a Vita,
there you go.
You've got a very happy Vita.
That's before I got my Vita. That's what I was doing. Anytime I saw something, I do it anyways. If I see a game that it just says, "Hey, free game," I download it or I purchase it for free. So it just shows up in my list, and as long as I keep my PlayStation Plus subscription, I can just go back and say, what free games do I want? Let's go with this one.
Yeah. I buy them because now the system's when they change the store, it automatically downloads now. But all you got to do is just, as soon as you hit to download, you just cancel it, and you've got the purchase, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much what my brother likes to do. Like, if there's something free on the PS Plus, even if he's not going to play it, he will download it just to make sure it's on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I do that now even with the because Microsoft is just they're releasing some titles as free titles on there, and I do the same there. I just buy the games and don't download them, and if I want to get around to playing them, I just download them when I want. But
yeah, and then going along with like the Vita and the PS4 stuff, we now have a launch date for the PlayStation 4.
Yes, launch date
for North America and Europe.
Friday.
Yes, yeah, you guys are getting it 2 weeks before us, which is quite a space. I was expecting of anything maybe a week, but 2 weeks is quite a lot.
Yeah, we're getting it November 15th, and you guys over
on the
in
29th.
Europe. Right.
I guess over here they're trying to release it before Black Friday, because that's when everyone's probably going to go buy one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember seeing pictures from your Black Friday, from some stores on Black Friday last year. They were insane.
It is madness. Black Friday over here in America is madness. It's like venturing into the pits of Mordor itself.
Yeah, this is why.
Actually,
when it comes to Black Friday,
I think I would personally prefer to jump inside the fires of Mount Doom.
This is why when it comes to Black Friday, I prefer internet shopping.
Oh yeah,
like at Amazon.com.
But even that's insane. I mean, you see the when they announced those flash sales and the counters. That
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
not everything, but some things they just shoot.
I know. Like I was gonna order WWE 13 last year, and I was gonna get it at launch. But I remember that for the last 3 years, the WWE games were always on sale on Black Friday. So I waited till Black Friday, but I got the fan access, all the DLC pass, early, because that was on $10. So I already was committed to getting the game. So now I'm waiting for Black Friday, and Black Friday comes, and it's down to, I think, like 12 p.m. they were going to do the sale. This game that came out only a month ago was $25 for the sale. I went to it, and as soon as the timer went, I hit refresh the page. I said add to cart. When I said add to cart, I see the ticker going up to 70% of items sold for that flash sale. Now I got the item, but as soon as my order registered, the sale was over. That sale went out in less than a minute.
That's just insane.
But I did not get trampled.
True statement.
No.
You did not get trampled, and you woke up the next day. Like we
Exactly. That's what makes internet shopping safer.
Like, we're laughing over here, but no, people have died on Black Friday over here. Like, people have gotten trampled, running into the stores. People have gotten...
All I picture is, you know the scenes in Jumanji where the animals are just roaming through destroy everything. Someone's opened Jumanji and let everyone in.
Oh, man. And that's how it gets on Black Friday, so it's usually just safer that you just shop online and avoid that scene, that mess that Black Friday can be if you go in person, especially now that you're going to have a next-gen console on the market. Oh. That is asking for trouble. That is going to be a danger zone. I
don't think people are going to be going into these stores expecting these next-gen consoles to be Black Friday sales.
Yes, they do.
But
they probably are, yeah.
Because you got to think about it.
They will have to make sure that they store everything everything valuable like that just right at the back in a storeroom, so no one can even touch them.
Because you got to figure, the kind of person that's going to go into a store on Black Friday to buy a brand new next generation console, they're probably they have it set in their mind that that's what they're going to do. It hasn't occurred to them that they could just order it online and get it mailed to them, or
at the same price, or even cheaper. Yeah. If it's anything like over here, you usually get a much cheaper deal online.
Yeah, for the most part. But I don't know. I may be alone in this one. While I'm excited for the PS4, I'm probably not gonna get it for at least a year.
Well, you know, I've got PlayStation 4 on pre-order, but right now, the more I think about it, I'm thinking, what games do I actually want to buy with it?
Yeah, see, that's what it boils down to. There's nothing that's coming out for the PS4 immediately that I want to play on the PS4. Like Watch Dogs, I could live with Watch Dogs on the PS3.
Same, and that's kind of what's putting me at a bit of a waiver right now. Although at the moment I've secured my pre-order, I may not even actually buy it on the day. I may end up cancelling it because I may get stuck into addiction with Final Fantasy 14, for example.
Oh yeah.
All right, now hold on. Who's actually getting Final Fantasy 14?
Me.
Yeah, because I know you're getting it. Lawrence, Michelle, are you guys getting it?
I'm considering it in the future. The only thing that's putting me off is subscription fee.
Okay, did any of you guys try the beta? Or beta, as you guys like to say.
I tried I was in the closed beta for beta phase 3.
Right.
But I couldn't get into the open beta.
The open beta was absolutely insane. Because it's open, the servers were just filling up so much.
Yeah.
I got booted out while I was playing on, I think it was Saturday last week. It was about 3 p.m. or so my time. I got booted out while I was in the middle of a fight.
Oh.
And when I went to get back on, it said the server was full and I had to wait in a queue to get back in.
Oh boy, yeah, I couldn't even log in.
It didn't take that long to get back in, but even though there were 90 people that were in that queue apparently, but it was the fact that I had to wait in a queue was just crazy. But the majority of these people, we'll say now that they're not going to fulfill going into the full game because of, like you say, they're put off by the subscription fees.
So there is a subscription fee to play FF14.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the same thing, the same thing still applies with Final Fantasy 11. They're still running a subscription fee, which it's a model that I prefer over free to play.
All right, go on.
Now, I've tried loads of free to play games, and I just don't feel at all invested in them. I don't feel a kind of. I'll play them for a good few hours or something, but I have nothing that's really kind of making me have to get back into it. Whereas paying a subscription fee, I'm making as much as getting as much out of the money that I'm putting in every month.
Yeah.
And because I can play the free to play for free, and I can play a really good portion of the game without having to buy anything physically. I just don't buy anything physically, and I don't feel invested, so I don't stick to the game. I move. I usually end up maybe playing it for a huge chunk for maybe the space of a week, and then never come back to it.
All right, see, to that I would say that's why I enjoy the free to play model, because I don't feel so invested to the game. Like, it doesn't feel like, okay, I have to do this so I can get what I can get the most out of my money. It feels more like a game and not something that I have to do. Like, let's take DC Universe. When that went free to play, that's when I hopped on, because I was like, okay, cool. I knew they were going to do it eventually. I hopped on, and I'm enjoying it. I finally got to the end game, which is where the game really starts. And I can sort of just do it at my own pace.
See, I did jump into DC Universe Online when it became free to play. When I got my PlayStation 3 and it was free to play. And I did the same thing there. I played it for I think the good part of a month, and then I stopped playing it, and I haven't really felt a need to go back into it. And I think because I'm not invested and I'm not going in there that often, I don't make these social connections, and because of that, I've got nothing really kind of keeping me in the game.
Well, I will say it's harder to make a social connection in an MMO on a console, or maybe this is just how DCUO was set up. It's hard because of how their chat system and message boards are set up within the game. If you want to do that social connection, you got to sort of find people outside of the game, either on the forums or people you know, or on Twitter. That's how I found sort of the people I roll with on DC Universe. It's either people that I already know or people that I've met outside of the game. Maybe it's just something. Maybe FF14 has something within the game where it's easier to sort of click up with people.
I think the social system in Final Fantasy XIV is brilliant. The old system that was in Final Fantasy XIV version 1 wasn't very easy to get on with. Even on it was only PC then, and it wasn't easy to get on with. But now it's nice, it's smooth. If you have a USB keyboard, then it's even easier. You just because the new user interface is very much designed for a controller. They have got a control user interface, and it works so perfectly and works so smoothly with the controller, so you can switch between the social functions very easily. And if you have a USB keyboard, typing's just simple. Okay.
Well, since I was not chosen to be in the beta. Thank you, Squaresoft. Square Enix now. Why don't you tell me about it? Because I see you guys you specifically post about it often. I keep wanting to get into it. I guess I just need sort of that nudge to be like, hey, this is for you.
Well, I mean, they've kind of implemented a lot of things which weren't in the game before, and things which are quite popular functions in other games, such as new raids, and they've got new huge battles. They've got this thing called a fate system, which I don't know if you've ever played the game Rift. In the game Rift, you go into these battle instances where they'll just randomly spawn on the map that you're in, and they'll only appear over a certain period of time or until a certain condition's met, and they'll earn you good experience points and sometimes items and stuff. And you don't have to be in a group with anyone to be able to do it.
Okay.
So there's plenty to do that you're not reliant on people to go forward, but at the same time there's a lot of stuff which you are able to do with people, especially if you're doing the story missions. You probably do need to connect with people, but you don't have to be with friends. There's a nice simple function called the what's it called now? A duty log, where you can Duty Finder, that's it. And all you do is you're in the map. You can continue adventuring. Select a duty that you want to be participating in, and it will find players for you.
Oh, nice.
So you can continue adventuring and doing whatever you're doing, and as soon as the fulfillment for players is there, it will then ask you, are you ready to join? And you can just join in an instant. So that's an excellent function. Like I said, the social function is so much better. There's loads of different interactions that you can do with like emotes and stuff like that with people. Even if it's just sitting, even if you kind of go into a tavern, just sit down and use the social function, just chat all afternoon. It's just really nice.
Okay. Don't make me do this. You're gonna make me do this, aren't you? You're going to make me get this game.
Yeah.
Well, when I actually get started on it properly, I will do a couple of streams using the PlayStation 3 version. Although I actually prefer to play on the PC because it looks because my PC runs nicely. It actually looks better on my PC than the PS3. Although it does look nice on the PS3. I won't deny that. But what I'll do, I've run some streams from the PS3 version, and you can kind of see what the game's all about and what it's like. And obviously, if anyone listening to this now, they can follow the streams, and I'll do it on the We Are Gamers channel. They can just take a look and see if it's something that's for them.
Yeah.
Nice.
Michelle, you plan on getting FF14 at all, or?
Probably not. I mean, I'm not a huge MMO fan,
Really?
to be honest.
No,
Honestly, the only other MMO I played was Final Fantasy 11, and yeah, subscription fee.
Fair enough.
It's very off-putting for some, but I mean, for others, like I was saying, for myself, I prefer that model, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But did you hear that the Elder Scrolls Online is going to be subscription fee as well?
I did, and that immediately turned me off from it.
Well, Square Enix explained why they're going to have the subscription fee for FF14, and the explanation they gave, I can actually kind of understand it. Because the reasoning they gave was, if you have a free-to-play model, you don't know how much money you're going to be incurring off of the in-game microtransactions. But if you have the monthly subscription fee, you can gauge how much money you're going to be making on a per-month basis.
You know how many subscribers you've got.
Right, and
if someone cancels their subscription, you know that they've stopped. So that's a number off your books.
And
you can measure a lot easier.
Right, and allow you to budget yourself better to make expansions and update the game and stuff like that. And I can understand Square Enix's reasoning for it. It's just one of those things where, can everyone afford I believe it's $13 a month?
This is it.
I gotta disagree with that. Only because there are other models out there that do the free to play, and they may not be the level of Square Enix, and maybe that's what it is. As one of the premier publishers, developers in the industry, they hold themselves to a certain standard. But there are ways to gather metrics on what you expect to incur from these microtransactions. But another plus to the subscription-based model, you don't need the microtransactions, so people can't just buy their way to victory. So that is an incentive for subscription-based.
Mm-hmm. But then there's also, like you mentioned with the free-to-play, you can expect what to get, but you don't know for sure what you're going to get.
Valid.
So you have to be more, I guess you can say, strict on how you're budgeting yourself in terms of making future expansions, what support you're giving your game, and stuff like that. Whereas if you have the subscription-based version, you can go something along the lines of, okay, we have 2 million people, we have $13 a month, so $13 a month by 2 million people equals this and this amount of money per month, which gets split this way, and this way, and this is our budget.
Yeah.
And you can get a more solid number.
I mean, I'd say of anything, if Final Fantasy XI is anything to go by, which is still running and still supporting very well, their support and maintenance of the servers is brilliant. And it still is even to this day, although subscriber numbers are down, so therefore you get the lag issues a lot less, etc. But they've done a very good job with the maintaining that. But I think there's also the issue of what they called the promise, where when they announced Final Fantasy 14, there was a promise which was made, and they said they're going to do this, and this, or whatever, and they want to fulfill that promise exactly. And so far, they have done that, and I think the subscription was part of that promise. So the point is they're not going to backtrack from their promise to the fans that they've made that promise to.
Right.
Unlike
right.
someone else we know.
Hilarious. No names mentioned.
I sound like Sony, don't I?
No names mentioned. All right, cool. You. I guess I can tolerate and at least get the logic behind a subscription-based fee. So, all right. I won't complain too much about it.
Another thing is people can get quite overboard with free to play. They can actually spend more money than they would if they were paying a subscription.
Well, yeah, like I said, that's what we talked about last show. People just buy the way to victory. Like, okay, yeah. I could put in the work, play the game, or I could just buy all this in-game stuff now. I'm gonna buy the in-game stuff now.
Yeah.
So, although I have a question: does 14 have a PvP function, or is it all?
No, I think there is a PvP function in there, but I don't think they've had it active during the beta phases. Okay. Once I've got a little deeper into the game, because there was a lot of things which were switched off. So once I'm a little bit deeper into the game, I'll let you know what's actually on offer.
Okay, cool. All right. I guess while we're on the subject of online, also, I don't know when they made the announcement. Was it earlier this week or? Yeah, it was earlier this week. Rockstar made an announcement of Grand Theft Auto Online.
Oh, was that last week? No, that was last week's announcement.
That was last week, yeah.
Yes.
They announced
Thursday.
Yeah, they announced Grand Theft Auto Online. I've been kind of meh on Grand Theft Auto 5 because there's only so many times you can tell hey, I started from nothing, I did a life of crime, now I'm on the top, but I've lost so many friends along the way, I guess crime doesn't pay. Like, there's only so many times you can tell that story.
Well, they just haven't told it the same ever since they did Vice City with Scarface style,
Let's say Vice City and San Andreas might have been like the last good GTA story. Well, no, that's right. You actually like GTA 4.
Yes, I do like GTA 4.
What's wrong with you? Why do you hate America? Oh God, remember when that was a thing? Why do you hate America?
Oh, I prefer GTA 4 over San Andreas. I mean, San Andreas had great innovation for what it was, especially the whole way you can make CJ like your own character. Like you can actually build him in different ways, customize his attire, even customize his look. Yeah. But compared to GTA 4, I prefer the GTA 4 story more than San Andreas.
What? I like, this is hurting me. This is physically hurting me.
Okay, I didn't really enjoy the San Andreas story that much.
That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
But I enjoyed San Andreas more than I did 4.
Oh, come on, man!
Vice City was the last one I really liked.
So is that what we're doing today? We're finally settling our Grand Theft Auto differences today.
Yeah.
Well, because my thing is, I just couldn't get into the San Andreas story. I mean, gameplay wise, if we just go by gameplay, okay. I mean, I could get into San Andreas a bit more. Because for some reason with Grand Theft Auto 4 going on the rampages that you could go on, it just felt off in GTA 4. And there's also the notion that there was no real rampage missions in GTA 4. And in San Andreas, you could have fun with those and do your own thing. Yeah. But story-wise, I honestly preferred 4 over San An. Easily.
I liked hydraulic suspension in San Andreas.
Ha! Alright, hold on. The thing that gets me with 4, it's not just the story. It's like the characters, I felt no attachment to anyone in that story.
I didn't like the characters. Plus, also, it has got some good tracks, but the soundtrack just wasn't the same.
Like the Kate. All right, I guess I can't do a spoiler alert because this game's been out since 2006. But Kate, they try to like force you to like Kate. There was nothing likable about Kate in that story. She was very condescending. She was very, you shouldn't be shooting people. It's Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna shoot people. Not only am I going to shoot people, I'm going to smile and do it with an ice cream truck. Why? Because it's Grand Theft Auto.
Because I can.
And they try to make you feel bad for her when she dies. I'm just like, that was more petty than anything. Like, her death comes out of nowhere. It's literally nowhere. It's just like, she dies. It happened.
Oh, well. Let's move on.
Like, there was really no real reason. Like, no matter which ending you choose and the drive-by at the church happens, I'm like, that's just really petty. And there's really no real reason for this to happen other than you're being petty. It's like the video game's equivalent of keying your car after you've dumped her. It's just like, nah.
Silence.
I'm outnumbered here.
Hold on. I have to ask though. Did you feel an attachment to Kate in that story?
No, not really, no.
Hey, you get what I'm saying then?
No, I get what you're saying on that one.
You just like roaming around New York City, didn't you?
See, that's what it was.
Admitting I did like that.
You just like roaming around home.
Because I could actually recognize some of the places.
Yeah, when I went to New York, because I went after I played the game, I recognized the place. Like the place is just kind of stuck in there. I was like, I know how to get to here.
Hold on, if I make a left at this bridge and I'm at Staten Island. Nice.
Yeah. When I walked, because I can't remember where exactly I was at the Forbidden Planet place, and I walked all the way. I walked from there to Forbidden Planet in downtown area, and then walked over to Times Square because I had to meet my cousin. Okay. I just kind of knew my way. I was like, I recognize this.
See, Grand Theft Auto teaches you things beyond how to beat prostitutes and take their money. It teaches you.
I think that, because they work so well to get the map structure correct.
Yeah. I will say this though, and this will probably spark another argument, and I know this will probably spark another argument, but I'm already this far in.
You're already 1 foot in the grave.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Here's a spade.
Yeah. I think personally, I would put Nico as probably one of my favorite GTA leads.
I just fell out of my chair.
I liked Nico as a character. I legitimately liked him as a character.
I was looking at my window ready to jump out, and then I realized I got a roof that I was stand on.
Nico over... Oh, God, I forgot. What's his name in Vice City? Not Tommy, because we found out that... No, it is Tommy in Vice City.
Tommy Passetti.
Yeah.
See, my problem with Vice City is I wasn't... Okay, here's another one. I got what they were going for with Vice City, but... I got what they were going for with Vice City, but I didn't like what they were going for in Vice City, if that makes sense.
It was a bad
thing. Have you seen Scarface?
I have. That's why I didn't like it.
Did you like Scarface?
Not
That's
really.
Why you don't like Vice
right.
City.
There you go. You don't like Vice City. You don't like Scarface. You don't.
Basically, how you feel about San Andreas and Vice City boils down to how do you feel about Boys in the Hood or how do you feel about Scarface?
Yeah.
Because that's basically the video game version of those two movies. San Andreas
Well, I don't
Boys in the Hood. That's really all it is.
Yeah, see, I never really got on with that, so that'll be probably why I didn't really click with San Andreas.
Yeah, and Rident already called me on, why I wouldn't have liked San Andreas beforehand, so...
Almost choked on my water.
I mean, listen to how I speak. Do I seem the type to follow that type of...
He drinks tea.
You drink tea. You drink more tea than the British dude on our show. What is wrong with you? Oh, man.
I actually make time for tea and pastry.
I don't even make time for tea and pastry.
Oh, man. As we've gotten off the rails,
anyway, yeah, there was a point to this.
No. Actually, I think that's why we're all geeked about Grand Theft Auto Online, because it combines all the things we like from each series into one huge sandbox. Like, you have your customization of your own character, down to the haircut, the style. I don't know if
male or female.
Yes, male or female. Finally,
which is kind of a big thing, because it's the first time you've been able to play as a female.
Well, granted,
unless of course you use the cheats.
Right. The last Grand Theft Auto game came out years ago, so yes, this new one, even though the main protagonists of the story mode are male, in the online mode you can make your own avatar, male or female. They brought back the barbershops and the hairstylists, so you can customize that way. You can customize your own fashion.
There's just so much to do. It's a playground.
Yeah, it really is a playground. They capture all of the activities from golf to skydiving to mountain biking.
To swimming, diving.
To robbing a bank, which, while it seems sort of like a duh thing, yes, it's Grand Theft Auto, of course you can rob banks, the online world is actually going to have missions for you to do.
It's the way you do it. It's the way you rob the bank. It's not just like you don't just go in there and hold a gun up to the clerk's head and like you did in a previous game. There is actually scenarios.
No, it is a full out mission on how to do these things. And one thing I'd want to know going forward is, are these missions static or are they dynamic? Like
I think that I think they're dynamic because they said it's a living world. It's where it's running, I think, on a cloud basis. Yes. The world's going to be running on a cloud basis, a bit like an MMO in a way. The world's just going to be constantly changing, and I think the missions are going to always be different. So the scenarios are going to play out differently all the time.
Right, and you can only have 16 people in your own world, as it were.
Yeah, I believe so.
So the basic setup of GTA 5 Online is you set up your own multiplayer world, and 15 other users can join you. They don't have to actually do anything with you, but if you would like, you guys can interact, you can do missions together, and if you really want to be a jerk about it, if you do one of these rob bank style missions, whoever actually ends up with the money can just steal it. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, whoever's plan it is, you can decide to take it or share it.
Yeah. It's really just like a full-on, like you mentioned, open sandbox. It's an open Grand Theft Auto world, just for multiple players to be involved in the same city.
The other thing to come out of it was the fact that it's releasing after Grand Theft Auto 5 as a downloadable title. Now, there's no word as to whether or not you can purchase the online mode separate to the game. If you own the game, you can download it for free, and I think you do that via the full game. Right. So you load in the disc, and there'll be an option in the disc to then download. But hopefully, there is an option to buy just the online component.
I would buy that
because like Justin was saying, I'm currently right now not that interested in buying Grand Theft Auto 5, but the online component takes an interest with me. So, and I would buy that.
Well, I would almost argue, why not just get GTA 5 at that point? Because if you buy the online separately,
it depends on what the price point is.
If they're both $60, I might as well just get 5. But if the online component is $40,
well, I have a feeling it'll probably be less than that.
Well, I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because if they were if they were going to release it separately, they'll probably put it in a similar. You know the game Payday. How much does that retail on your end?
Payday retail was $39.99, I believe.
Okay. So maybe something at a similar price to that.
I gotta say though,
yes.
The Payday 2 that just came out a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
They found when they first released it, matchmaking was literally broken. Like you could not get into another person's match unless they were on your friends list. They just fixed that today. So
at least they did.
Well, they did. They addressed it. Like they're actually really responsive about it. People mentioned it day one. Overkill was like, okay, we think we know what the issue is. Just give us time to patch it. They patched it. No harm, no foul. I understand things happen, but it's actually kind of what got me excited about Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, because it's essentially a sandbox Payday, if I so choose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Payday with a lot more option.
And they have the you're going to be able to create your own content. You can create your own races. You can create your own deathmatch maps if you so choose.
Yes, you can set your scenarios. You can set what enemies are going to be and everything.
Yes.
Where the pieces are going to be like cover of pieces and stuff like that, which is all really cool.
So maybe that's the living world they're referring to. Maybe the users will create the missions themselves.
And that's going to be constantly changing all the time.
Exactly. That is going to be pretty dope. One thing they didn't have, that I was kind of disappointed, I don't know if they're going to have it or not, the gym. That's one of my favorite things to do in San Andreas. Just go to the gym, lift weights, do some boxing.
Do you know what? You said that was probably one of my favorite parts of San Andreas too. That was one thing that they introduced, which was really cool.
It's one of those.
It's kind of it's kind of a dumb and lame, like a right time cost.
Yeah.
But
it was so fun though.
Waster. Yeah. You imagine it being in the online world. You could just sit there with your friends, just pumping iron and stuff all
if that isn't the grand irony. Hey guys, you wanna go work out? Yeah, let me fire up Grand Theft Auto real quick.
Don't worry, it's compatible with Kinect.
There you go. If your Kinect sees you doing push-ups while connected to Grand Theft Auto Online, your character will start to do push-ups as well. One thing I did like from the gameplay, or another thing I should say that I liked from the gameplay video, was if a character chooses to just like exist in the world and not really do anything, the world reacts to everyone else. So like if I'm just in my own apartment in the world, and I just happen to turn on the radio and my other friends are causing havoc and mayhem, I'll get a news report of the havoc and mayhem going on.
That's good. That's good.
That could. My mind is just racing with all these possibilities. You could have one guy causing all the mayhem. All right, I've got all the cops over here. You guys can go rob whatever now.
It kind of throws in whether I don't know whether it's for me even if the online component's separate and you can buy it separately. I don't know whether it'll be a day one thing, but it'd be interesting to hear what other people think of the game.
Yeah.
And if I see videos or if I hear a lot of good stuff about it, then that's going to entice me to go in and buy it a lot more.
I'm sold on day one just based on what they've released so far.
I think price point's going to be another thing.
Well, that too.
But yeah, be interesting. But there's a 2-week delay between the release of the game and the release of the online component.
Right. Which they had a reason for it. I'm not. I believe the reason was something to the effect of they don't want people returning the game. They want to hold on to it for at least a little while.
I mean, I was when they were making the end, when they showed the first announcement that they were going to be, next Thursday we're going to be announcing Grand Theft Auto Online. I was saying to someone then, this is going to be a separate game, and they were, this is someone that's working in high-end journalism. They were like, no, it's not. It's just going to be Grand Theft Auto 5, just the online component of it, like on the disc, etc. And it turns out, what I was initially thinking, and it's mostly because of the way that the logo was set out, where they didn't use 5 in the title at all.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling it like it was a separate thing.
Right. I know
So,
that.
yeah, and that's why my thought on the fact that it's going to be a separate game title, which it turns out it is in a way, but we don't know about whether or not you can buy it yet separately. Kind of coming, that's where that came into play.
Right.
And it's actually got I believe it's actually got a story in there as well in the online component.
I don't know if it's so much a story. It could be a legit story, or it could be the.
It looked like there was there were cutscenes and stuff. So I don't know.
What I'm saying is, it could either be a legit story, or it could just be the. Hey, these are a couple tutorial missions to help you get a feel of the world. Now go do whatever you want.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And the way that they're portrayed looks like it's the story. Yeah.
Right.
But it'd be interesting.
Like I said, October 1st, price notwithstanding, I'm probably gonna get it. And we were talking earlier, it would be really nice if we had our own sort of gamers server. So like all of us and all of our everyone that follows us on Twitter, Facebook, Podomatic, if they just want to jump in and not be douche nozzles, but just sort of chill with us, that'd be kind of dope too.
Just have some fun, yeah.
So I'm trying to get the biggest penthouse, get the biggest garage.
And I'm just gonna burn it down.
See, that's what we can't have. That's going to ruin someone's friendship. Someone's gonna be like, "Yeah, man, I got this whole thing set up on Grand Theft Auto Online. You should come check it out." Yeah, I'll check it out. Let me put this C4 at the base of the apartment. And
that's scene. That's like my instance with Minecraft.
Oh God.
Invited my friends in, they burnt my house down that I spent hours making.
Hey, you like my house? Yeah, it's a nice house.
It was on fire.
Would be a shame if someone burnt it to the ground. Wait, what?
First of all, they took out all the blocks from the roof and then planted all these trees on my roof. And then they set the house on fire.
You sound so traumatized by this. All my hard work gone in an instant.
It was on the day that I finished. I literally just finished it, and then I invited my friends in, and I'd been on there for I think the best part of 11 hours making this house.
Gone in 5 minutes.
It went down. Yeah, it went down. All there was this blank bits and furniture just floating up in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
I learned not to use wood.
I think that's what the first rule of the internet. You can't have nice things.
No.
Ever.
Nope.
So we'll see. Damn. I was excited, and now you brought up the fact that you guys could just burn my stuff to the ground.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's an option. If so, haha.
Well, if robbing my friends is an option, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. See, I'll do that, and then we'll do a heist, and you'll just take all the money, or shoot me in the head. You'll end up pulling a Joker, won't you?
That's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna say, all right, guys, we're gonna rob a bank. Everyone get these masks on. Now I'm just gonna message everyone privately. Yeah, you kill the driver. You kill the locksmith. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully, none of them have seen The Dark Knight.
You'd be very hard pressed to find someone that hasn't.
Oh man. The other thing I wanted to talk about, because I gotta say I'm kind of
everyone's playing.
Huh?
Because everyone's playing it.
Well, yeah, everyone's playing it, and I'm surprised at how well it's doing over here. I didn't realize. I know the Tales of series is a great series. I just didn't realize how popular it was over here.
Blame Symphonia for that. Symphonia really kicked off the Tales of series fandom in the US, and then from there it grew, and then it kind of subsided because of the lack of Tales releases, and then we got Graces, and then Exilia, and then we got Exilia 2, and then we got Symphonia Chronicles announced, and so now it's swelling back up again.
So Exilia 2 is coming stateside?
Yep.
Yes, 2014.
Alright. Because my brother imports Zillia and Zillia 2. The only thing I remember from Zillia 2 is the difficulty spike from 1. I was like, Christ almighty.
Here we go, Michelle, you got that to look forward to.
I was like, this is normal? Because we scraped through Zillia on, what's the first difficulty you unlock?
Be hard, possibly?
Say,
no, or chaos.
No, it definitely wasn't chaos. We scraped through it on hard relatively easily. And then normal on Zillia 2, I was just like, the hell is this? It's just, but no, I'm happy, I'm excited, and everyone's playing it. So I guess I have to get my localized copy of Zillia now. Well, I just have to pick it up now. I have it. I just have to pick it up.
Well, I have Michelle to thank for mine because she sent me a copy over which she had spare. Benevolence.
That's benevolence.
Our queen of benevolence.
I'm currently lacking.
Michelle, what was the reason for you for buying the 2 copies?
This story.
It's just because I wanted all the extra goodies that came with the. Because it's like I got the Mila Maxwell version from Namco, and then it's like I got the Day 1 edition as well because it had like different stuff with it.
Content and stuff, yeah.
So you did it just because you wanted all the extra stuff.
Nice.
Why not?
See, now I'm in an awkward crossroads because I have Grace's F. I have not ran through Grace's F yet, and I don't have Exilia. So now I'm on the outside looking in with this one.
So what's the Miller Maxwell statue like?
It's actually pretty nice because it's like I got the I don't know if you've seen it. It's the Altair Luke von Fabra statue. It goes quite well with that. It's the same sort of good quality.
Okay. Because it did look like it was a good quality model, a bit like the Monkey D. Luffy one that's coming with the One Piece Pirate Warriors.
Okay. Hold on, when do we get that? I know we're getting Pirate Warriors 2, but when?
I believe September.
Oh, you getting it September?
Let me check real quick. September 3rd.
Okay, in which case it's the Tuesday just after we get it, because we get it on the 30th of August.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So.
Which is next Friday.
But no, getting back to Zillia, or really the Tales of series in general, I think what I like most about it, what I like about it and what I kind of wish they added, but I'm glad they didn't at the same time, they didn't try to force an online component into the game. Yeah. Even though it seems ripe for like drop in, drop out co-op, I'm glad they didn't try to just shoehorn that in. They just said, you know what? Yes, we have it local. If that's what you want to do, cool. If not, man, we're not gonna try to force this into the game.
Yeah, they kept it the single player JRPG that it's always been known for. Right. Even though they could have maybe tried it, they just kept it true to its roots. And
any way of trying it, it would kind of take away from the game itself.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there's something about just getting a group of friends, sitting down with Zillia, and just hammering it out, all you guys there.
Did you know? I didn't know that there was a multiplayer component in there at all. This is how often I read the manuals now.
Alright. Get a second controller, hit the start button, and let the magic unfold.
Because I'm the only person that plays either of my consoles. Like, I've got a few Xbox controllers because various reasons, but the PlayStation, I've only got one controller.
Oh, okay.
I've never had a need for a second. I don't have friends.
This guy, I don't have friends. I just hang out with people from Reeve Publishing and IGN and Sony, but I don't have friends.
No, this is it. I mean, pretty much everyone that I know that I could play with doesn't live anywhere near, so I wouldn't play locally. It would always be online. I used to love playing locally though. Multi-tap,
oh, man.
Quake 2.
The multi-tap, you have officially brought me back.
Even Micro Machines 96 Tournament Edition with the 2 extra ports in the cartridge for 4-player. That was wicked.
Yeah, I gotta say one of my fondest memories getting the multi-tap, Def Jam Fight for New York, 4 people. It's just like, all right, go at it. That's about as close to. I don't know if you guys remember the old WCW NWO Revenge on N64.
Yes.
Oh, that was so great.
Yes.
Didn't the Wu-Tang Clan game also have 4-player? If you remember the Wu-Tang game.
Hold on. I feel ashamed right now. I did not know Wu-Tang had.
Yeah, it was a really violent game for the time. There was just so much blood and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was like I want to say PS1. Yeah. They made a PS1 game. I don't have it, but I've heard of it.
Oh, I never had it. I played it around my friend. Friend had it. We used to play it around his all the time.
Never played it.
It was cool because at the time it was just one of the only games with that much blood in it.
Oh god, Wu-Tang made a Mortal Kombat clone? What?
Yes.
It was kind of like, but there was a bit more free roam in the battle as well. It's a bit more of a brawler.
Let me go to Amazon. I have a purchase to make. I can't believe I didn't know about this.
Oh boy. He found his new PS1 game that he's gonna be retro geeking out over.
Oh god! This looks so terrible.
Yeah, it was actually terrible graphic wise. It was actually terrible for the standards at the time.
It looks like.
But there was just something about the play in there that just kept you hooked.
Oh god, there's a Wu-Tang PS3 or PS1 controller. Alright, I'm sold. I'm getting this. This is a thing that is happening in the very near future.
Oh boy. And this is why Justin likes San Andreas and I like
No. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang would have been around that time period. That would have been around 90s. Yeah, would have been the 90s. So,
I'm just saying.
It's more than the soundtrack.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm okay. Off-topic question. One artist, favorite rapper, go.
Favorite rap? I'm torn because my favorite rapper right now doesn't rap anymore, and he's kind of turned into a crybaby. So I'm hurt. Because my favorite rapper was Lupe Fiasco, but he doesn't rap anymore. He just sort of complains on Twitter, and I'm just like, dude, you had such potential.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one word to show you how different our standing is. Eminem.
That's not really different though. Like M is up there. Eminem is easily one of the top 10 this era, easily.
Okay.
I mean, I'm trying to think. His last album wasn't even that bad.
No, it wasn't.
What was it? Relapse. What was the album before? No, yeah, it was Relapse. That was the last terrible one. I was just like, what is this? This is just.
Yeah, and he even referenced that in the one afterwards.
So.
Okay. I was just looking at a video of the gameplay from that Wu-Tang gang. It looks absolute pants.
Yeah.
I remember it being kind of bad, but yeah, it now looks absolute terrible.
Oh,
wait, Ryan, Michelle, what was that term? It looks absolute what?
Pants.
Hold on, pan?
I have never heard that term used that way.
Michelle, you've heard it, right?
Yeah.
Of course you both would.
I don't know. I mean, Scotland announced that they have funny words too.
Pants is a funny word. It's just I've never heard it used in that context. F it. I'm bringing it over here. Starting today, I'm using pants.
See, it may not have the same thing, the same kind of thing ring for you guys, because you call your what we call trousers pants. We call underwear pants.
No, okay.
What?
No, I get that one.
Okay.
We call it underpants. So pants, yeah, I get that one.
Yeah. Okay, this is extremely veered off topic from Tales of Exilia.
Anyway, yeah, where were we? Tales of Exilia.
Yeah, we're on Tales of Exilia.
No, hold on. All right. One thing I did notice though, the level. I shouldn't say the level. The skill web. That concept is sort of leaked everywhere. Like it pops up in the new Madden. It pops up in dang.
What do you mean skill web?
I don't know if it's Zilia or if it was Grace's app.
Zilia has a web. That's what I've only just really started it. So
well, it's basically like the Crystarium from Final Fantasy
Yes.
13.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, hold on.
Which as you unlock these little nodes, you expand it and it gets bigger.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it's not your
Kind of like this.
huh?
I was about to say it's kind of like the sphere grid in FF10 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
But it's not your traditional skill tree. But yeah, that's a better example.
Yeah,
the skill sphere.
Okay. Like I said, I don't have Exilia, so I'm kind of behind on the Tales of stuff. So I was like, skill web.
Zilia is pretty much the only one that I've started with. So, I mean, I've played a little bit of Vesperia, but I never really played. I didn't own it, so I didn't play the full thing.
Yeah.
But this is the first one I've kind of just jumped into, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Although I've pretty much spent my whole time grinding, as that's what I do. We were discussing that last week with KG.
Yeah. Hold on.
The fact that
That's.
I
actually have to ask
grind.
Michelle something because KG brought this up last show. Who would you say is the greatest Tales protagonist?
Oh, protagonist. I'd probably go for Luke from Tales of the Abyss.
He went for Yuri.
He went for Yuri Lowell.
That's right.
Oh, everyone loves Yuri. Everyone.
Well, from what he said.
He got me interested in wanting to play that.
But just the way he
Play that more detailed, yeah.
He just murdered.
It was that
He legit murders the
Yeah.
guys outside of comedy. He's like, yeah, I killed him. But why do you say Luke? Why is Luke your favorite or the greatest to you?
Just because it's like because it's when you sort of see how he changes in his character development, and yeah, it's like really. I don't. It's like just because a lot of people don't like Abyss because of how Luke is at the start of the game, but then you see his character development and why he acts like that. Yeah, and by the end of the game, you're like, why, why? It's yeah.
You love those moments, don't you?
I love and hate them.
Well, all right, hold on. I guess we have to give a spoiler alert for Tales of the Abyss. But what happens?
Basically, by the end of the game, Luke is his body is basically deteriorating. So he basically, long story short, there's this spirit that's trapped, and Luke has to sacrifice himself to sort of free him. And then after the ending credits, someone comes back who looks like Luke, but you don't know if it's actually him or someone else or a third person. And if you talk about, do not ever bring up Mr. Ending when you're talking about Tales of the Abyss, because it starts flame wars.
Well, I've noticed fandoms can't really handle when a protagonist seems to die and then there's an illusion that they could come back. Like I don't know if you guys you're familiar with the Code Geass series, but there's a moment similar to that which the internet still rages about. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Well, we brought it up last week with KG and Mass Effect, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people don't like to see the person that they've been working with disappear.
See,
possibly die and then not die and then.
I'm okay with that.
All that.
As long as it's done well and in context, I'm fine with that. So.
I don't know if that was actually if she actually killed him, but did you see the concept for the ending of The Last of Us?
Oh,
where Tess kills Joel.
I don't know why they didn't go with that one.
That would have been.
I would have actually liked
mixed things up a
lot. I think that one kind of fits the world of Last of Us more than kind of like the big middle finger Joel gives the world.
Yeah.
Because I think my slight spoiler alert for The Last of Us, one of my main issues with the game is towards the end, Joel gets really petty. Like, extremely petty. And when given the choice between saving the world or giving a giant FU to one specific person, he chooses to give that one person a giant FU and screw the world over. I'm just like, what? Dude, greater good. The greater good.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Yes, that was. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Just that moment at the end of Last of Us. It just comes from no. Well, I get where it comes from. I'm just like, what? It's like Grand Theft Auto 4. What can I say? I think I have two annoying moments in Grand Theft Auto 4. The first.
Oh God, he's going back to this.
No. And then I'm leaving after this. The first annoying moment was the church scene, which I already talked about. That drive-by at the end that comes from nowhere, and then randomly in the middle of the game, you find the third guy that Nico's looking for, and they set it up to be like this big moral decision, but it has no impact on the game itself. I'm just like, what? This is okay, I guess.
See, I didn't mind the church drive-by at all. I understand the second one that's kind of like, wait, what? But I didn't mind the church drive-by.
Like, the church drive-by makes more sense if it's Dimitri, because he is that kind of person. But if it's Pegorino and he's doing, I'm just like, wow, that came from nowhere.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't get how anyone in Grand Theft Auto 4 can work with Dimitri. That's one thing Grand Theft Auto did do well. I will give him that. They make you hate Dimitri. Like, they do a very good job at setting Dimitri up as someone that is just awful. And it's
just flat out unlikable.
Oh, it's so satisfying watching him beg for his life. That is that is the most satisfying moment in any Grand Theft Auto game. I will say that. Getting Dimitri to beg for his life, depending on which mission you choose, is so gratifying. It's like, you guys have seen The Princess Bride, right?
No.
I haven't.
Michelle?
Nope.
Michelle?
You've never seen The Princess Bride? Okay, no. You've never seen The Princess Bride. You've never seen, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya.
Oh.
You killed my father, prepared to die.
I only know of that. I only know Andre the Giant, and I only know Inconceivable, and that's it. I haven't seen the movie, but I know the things that spawned from the movie.
Well, there's one awesome scene in the movie where he actually finds the guy, and it's just like he gets him to beg for his life. That's what I was gonna compare it to, but no one's seen the movie. I'm hurt now.
No.
Oh well. We are approaching our time.
Yeah, we kind of are. But I was about to say, did you want to go into Otakon stuff?
There's so much Otakon stuff to get into. If you guys were following us, if you guys follow us on Twitter, then you know that I was at Otakon the week before last. I was actually a little more organized in my approach this year. I planned out what panels I wanted to go to. One thing I didn't realize, there's a lot of amateur voice actors that look to these cons to get instruction. And not just like quick fixes into the industry, but legit classes. They offered workshops on what to do if you want to be a voice actor, what exercises you can do, how to do a script reading, how to do an audition. I wanted to sit in on a few of those just so it could help me out when we do these types of things. And yeah, those events tended to sell. I shouldn't say sell out because you didn't buy it, but you know what I mean. They sort of filled up real quickly. Yeah. One thing that really caught my eye there, Otakon partnered up with Studio. Oh, who is it? Is it Studio Zen? They've partnered up with someone to create the Otakon game. Kyle Hebert is in it. Johnny Young Bosch is in it, and it all started from Kickstarter. And you've got Otakon. Otakon cool. Is behind it. Funimation is throwing their support behind it, and it's this side-scrolling beat 'em up that's going to be for PC that sort of just captures what it is to sort of battle through Otakon. There's a lot of inside jokes there.
Actually, I think I saw it. I think I saw the video for it.
It's called Crisis Heart Brawlers. I can put a link to it when I finally post this online. And it was just really interesting to see how they put the game together. And it was really awesome to see the support it was getting, not just from people donating to their Kickstarter, but from industry as well. Like Funimation sent Kyle Hebert, Christina V, and Todd Haberkorn there. And normally, when you have a panel that has any voice actor, those things fill up completely. But this one, they kind of sort of made certain that, hey, you know, this is for you guys, the fans. If you want to just hang out with these guys and talk to us about the game we're making, here it is. And I thought that was really awesome.
You met Kyle Hebert as well, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I saw him there.
I did see your picture. Yeah.
Yes, I saw him there. I had a slight fan. Like, he was just chilling in the dealer room by the Funimation booth. I was just like, he looks familiar. Oh, God, that's Kyle Hebert.
How did you approach?
All right, so this only makes sense if you've actually like seen me. I'm a relatively tall person.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like took a giant step over there, like that's Kyle Hebert. Let me just step the length of the booth over there.
Was that 2 steps?
That was actually just one giant step. Mm-hmm. So yeah, walked over there, got a picture, talked for a little bit. It was awesome.
Did you tell him about just say I'm Justin, you were on our show and whatever?
Yeah, I did. And then I was also reminded that was about a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I brought that up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, hey, tell everyone I said what's up." So
hey,
that was cool. Another great moment. The Crisis Heart Brawlers, the second panel they had, Todd Haberkorn, the first day he was there, he cosplayed as Superman. The second day, he was late for the panel. He didn't show up, but this guy in a Batman mask was there. He just had on like a jacket and a Batman mask, and he was doing Bale's Batman. He was doing a really great job of it. That was Todd Haberkorn, and he spent like the entire panel trolling everyone there.
I did see you post a picture of someone with a Batman.
Yeah, that was Todd Haberkorn, and no one we didn't realize it was him until someone on the panel. I think it was either Christina V or Dave, the president of Studio Nasu. That's what it is, Studio Nasu. One of them said, "Wait a second, is that Todd?" So.
Oh, so even they got trolled.
They didn't know who he was. They were just like, "Damn, Todd really didn't show up."
This random guy just sat down on the
panel.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was about to say they have a random guy in a Batman mask. They didn't figure.
No, they had no idea. Like he was sitting in the audience with everyone else. He waited in line to get everybody else, and then he asked. He said, "Hey, it's my birthday. Would you guys mind if I came up there and sat with you?" And that's when it clicked with one of them and said, "Wait a second, are you Todd?" And then Kyle brought out his Bane mask, and Christina V spent the rest of the panel pretending to be Bane. So that's the kind of place Otakon is. I also got to see Wolf Children. Wolf Children is the same director that did The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars and Digimon R War Game. He directed, and I want to say he also wrote Wolf Children. Funimation is dubbing it. And I gotta say, that movie is really beautiful. It's probably one of, yeah, I can easily say this. It's one of the most beautiful movies I've seen this year. They take the story of college girl falls in love with a guy. Guy just happens to be a wolf, but they don't treat it like a werewolf thing. They just treat it as, hey, I can turn into a wolf. And they have children, and it's all about raising wolf children in the real world and dealing with real world issues. Like, they kind of take a realistic look at, hey, this is what happens when a sort of fantastic element gets introduced into the real world. So she has to deal with the neighbors complaining about howling at night. She has to deal with, damn, my kid is sick. Do I take him to the vet, or do I take him to the hospital and pray that they don't turn into one thing or the other? Like I said, it's the art. The art is brilliant. The storytelling is brilliant. There's not much dialogue in there, but
yeah,
the movie relies more on the art, the setting, and people's facial reactions to tell the story, and it's just really, really good. I highly recommend when it comes out November 15th. Pick it up. It is excellent.
Now I saw it. I'm pretty sure it was that was advertised through Manga UK, and so I think it's coming out over here in December.
Okay. Yes.
So, which is odd because we normally get quite a delay between yourselves and us. So it's pretty cool. It's coming out that close.
Yeah. When I saw it, like they set it up in an actual theater in the convention center. They did it like an actual premiere. It didn't hit me until halfway through. This is the premiere of the dub, and it was such a big deal. We had the director there, we had Mike McFarlane there, we had Jade Saxton there. It was just awesome. And one thing Otakon does really well, they do a great job of making sure that when they invite people there, that it's not just a, hey, we're doing a panel and they sequester themselves to the room. They actually come out and hang out with everybody.
That's really cool.
Shinichiro Watanabe, he was there. He was talking about his new show, Space Dandy, which looks completely ridiculous, and that's what they're going for. It's this guy, like, imagine Johnny Bravo in space. That's essentially what Space Dandy is.
Space
nice.
Ghost. Johnny Bravo.
No, yeah, there we go. It's Space Ghost meets Johnny Bravo. Space Ghost Coast to Coast and Johnny Bravo. He started off the presentation saying, one of Dandy's favorite places to go is a place called Boobies, which is essentially space hooters. I was like, all right. And then they showed this this lizard thing with 4 boobs. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be this kind of show. But it looks utterly ridiculous. It looks pretty funny. They've got cleared for 13 episodes, and that will start in Japan. And I think he said they'll be doing a simulcast with Crunchyroll. I can't remember at the moment.
Cool, we get Crunchyroll over here.
Yes. Crunchyroll had a real big presence this year. I was kind of surprised.
I guess they kind of got bigger because they've now got the contracts with Microsoft.
Yeah, I think that might be a part of it.
Where they're one of the subscription apps on the Microsoft platform.
Yes. So, but yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. I didn't get to ask, because one thing I've always wanted to know, Shinichiro Watanabe, his shows, they have a very stylistic soundtrack. He tries to match the soundtrack to either fit the era or to fit, the motif he's going for. Like with Cowboy Bebop, it was very jazz. It was very, a lot of horns, a lot of strings. With Samurai Champloo, it was very hip hop, a lot of bass, a lot of percussion. With Michiko to Hatchin, it's very, very much a South American feel to it. So I just want to know how he even thinks to use these things in his soundtracks. So maybe another time. That was sort of 3 days I kind of condensed into 15 minutes. There was so much more there. I'm working on a write-up of Wolf Children now. Then I have to finish up my write-up of the live-action Kenshin video that we saw. They subtitled Rurouni Kenshin live action. And I think I tweeted out right after I saw it. That's proof that you can do anime live action and make it work.
Yeah, I saw that tweet when you posted it up.
It stays very faithful to what makes Rurouni Kenshin while still dealing in a live action setting. Like some of the things like his godlike speed, you really can't translate that in live action. But what they do is they show you that he is quicker than everyone else present, but it's just not godlike as we've seen in the anime.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he disappeared.
Right.
That type of thing. I mean, there are other live action movies that Japan has done that have shown that you can take the concept of an anime and put it into a live action movie. Like, for example, Death Note.
Yes.
The Death Note live action movies are absolutely fantastic. So it's good to hear that the Rurouni Kenshin movie I don't want to say follows in that footsteps because obviously different directors, different everything, but it also shows that you can continue to take anime and if done right, you can make a live action movie out of an anime. Like not trying to make it over the top, just keep it in line with what it should be.
Right. Exactly. So, and then we also have Space Harlock coming out live action. So we'll see how that translates. I'm hoping it does really well. Because over here we have Pacific Rim, and everyone essentially said, everyone that saw Pacific Rim that watches anime said it's essentially Attack on Titan meets Evangelion. Minus all the psychology from Evangelion. Because it gets weird the last 5 episodes. It gets weird.
Yes, I've not seen Pacific Rim.
Do you like giant robots?
It's on my to-do list.
If you like giant robots, go see Pacific Rim, because it's giant robots. Although I gotta say, minor spoiler for the movie, they start by building a wall. I'm like, when does that ever work?
You know, walls.
Like in the opening credits, they say, robots. We built a wall to keep the monsters out. I'm like, yep, that's gonna work. When has Godzilla ever looked at a wall and said, damn it, it's a wall? Can't do this today, guys.
But then again, I tried doing the same thing in Command and Conquer, and it doesn't seem to last long.
When I played games like Command and Conquer, Age of Empires, Rise of Nations, I used to always love building a wall until I realized it's just...
It doesn't... As soon as they start attacking, it's just down.
It stalls. I'm like, you know what's more effective than a wall? A turret. Let me just set up 3 turrets here, and if you try to come close to me, you either get incinerated or electrocuted. I like this plan. It is a good plan.
Yeah. Indeed. One thing I wanted to mention, just real quick, run down the list from, I believe this was also from Otakon, is Funimation's recent acquisitions that they announced at Otakon.
Yes. I sat in on Funimation's industry panel, and they announced, let me see if I can bring that list up now, unless you already have it. They announced a few titles they've acquired, a few re-releases they're going to do.
Let me see. I think I had the... I think I popped it up now. Because I had the list in my history, and I remember the ones I read off before. But... Oh, great. No, they don't got it now. Okay. That sucks. Because I had the list before, now I lost it, but I remember the acquisitions that they did announce a little prior to and during Otakon. And they announced the acquisitions of Akira.
Yep.
They announced Code Geass.
The new
Arcs 1 and 2.
The new Code Geass, the one that takes place between seasons 1 and 2.
Yes, and they announced that as well. So Funimation has the rights, I think, to all 3 pieces of Code Geass now. And alongside Sunrise Entertainment, they announced, and these were the big announcements, the rights to Escaflowne, Outlaw Star, and Cowboy Bebop.
Yep.
With Cowboy Bebop getting its first Blu-ray and digital release next year.
And it looks gorgeous in Blu-ray. It looks.
Oh, they showed.
Oh, they showed it. Yes, it looks gorgeous.
Nice.
It looks so nice. They also have Michiko the Hatchin, which is. I gotta say, I hope when it comes out on DVD, someplace like Toonami picks it up, because it's a nice spiritual successor in the terms of Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Michiko the Hatchet. Like, those three just flow very nicely, and I like the direction they're taking with them. So, they also announced that they got the rights to the Oceans dub of Dragon Ball Z, and they'll be releasing those on Blu-ray as well.
I'm all for Dragon Ball Z. At the same time, why?
Because that Oceans dub was greatness.
Bardock was a brilliant scientist. No, he wasn't. Shut up, Vegeta.
They have that. It was, of course, they started that announcement with
over 9,000, I bet.
Yep, you have to. And then they included the Bardock is a brilliant scientist. And
my God.
They embraced all the things wrong with it and just ran with it. They said, you know what? This is what it was. Here you go.
Oh no. Just re-release the Dragon boxes. What are you doing?
Hilarious. So, yeah, a lot of information came out. Hopefully you guys caught it when I was tweeting it through. And actually with that, I think that's a good spot to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Easily.
Well, as always, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. We hope to see you guys next show. Hopefully we can have something special for you next week. I don't want to jinx myself, so I'm going to knock on wood. So keep an eye out on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all of that for any special goodies coming down the pipe. And we will see you guys later. Take care, everyone.
Latest.
Later, everybody.
See ya.